Well, something very strange happened on Truth Social the other night when President Trump posted a full video about med beds, medical beds that can restore you back to health and even regrow missing limbs. Here's the AI video that Trump posted.
Breaking now, President Donald J. Trump has announced a historic new healthcare system, the launch of America's first MedBed hospitals and a national MedBed card for every citizen.
Every American will soon receive their own MedBed card. With it, you'll have guaranteed access to our new hospitals led by the top doctors in the nation, equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. These facilities are safe, modern, and designed to restore every citizen to full health and strength. This is the beginning of a new era in American healthcare.
In this first phase, only a limited number of MedBed cards will be released. Registration details will be announced very soon.
Okay. Shortly after that post went live, it was deleted. Oddly enough, though, we here at Redacted have spoken to whistleblowers who've actually seen this technology in action for themselves. And our next guest, Dr. Michael Salla, has a number of sources who've confirmed that there's truth in this technology. Yes, the regrowing of limbs. And Dr. Michael Salla joins us now. Doctor, great to have you back on the show. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure to be back.
So when you saw this post from President Trump, did you about fall out of your chair, like things that you've been reporting for years, but then it was suddenly deleted? Like, what is going on here?
Well, that was very strange. I mean, the fact that it was posted at all, showing that President Trump was aware of this technology that whistleblowers and insiders have been talking about for well over a decade now. I mean, I came across my first insider telling me about these med beds that would actually regenerate limbs and organs, and from space battles. This was all part of the secret space programs. And I've come across several who have actually been inside of these med beds and actually had limbs regrown because of battles that they had in space as part of these programs. So these technologies are very real. They do exist, but they are in very highly classified programs that have been kept away from the public sector for decades. I can trace the research behind this kind of medbed regeneration of limbs back to the early work of Dr. Robert Becker in the 1960s. So this technology has been around for over 60 years, medical technology or medical know-how on how to regrow limbs, but it was all suppressed by the pharmaceutical industry.
All suppressed by the pharmaceutical industry, of course, because then how would they make money? How would they make money off of our terminal cancer and chemotherapy drugs and everything else? Again, as I mentioned off the top, I've personally spoken here on Redacted to multiple whistleblowers who've seen this technology in action. Some of the med beds, but also special wands that are used as part of the regrowth of limbs. One person I spoke to saw it with his own eyes. So again, take it with a grain of salt. I didn't see it, but this comports with what I'm hearing from sources. And it's just so strange to me that President Trump posts this video and then deletes it.
Well, I think what he was doing was really drawing attention to the fact that these technologies exist and that they have been covered up by the medical establishment, by the pharmaceutical industry in particular. I mean, I mentioned the work of Dr. Robert Becker, who wrote this book, this pioneering book in 1985, The Body Electric, where he talked about how electromagnetic currents that are very specific in terms of their frequency can regrow limbs and regenerate organs. And this is not just a pie in the sky research by some alternative researcher. Dr. Becker was a well-known medical doctor who specialized in bone healing. And also there was a Air Force document that came out in 1976 called Radio Frequency Radiation Dosimetry Handbook. And that actually pinpointed the specific frequencies needed for regrowing bones, regenerating limbs and so forth. But this was done not so much for healing, but for weaponization purposes. They were looking at ways to weaponize this. But another branch of the Air Force clearly was building healing chambers for people that would be involved in the secret space program side of the classified programs there.
This is unbelievable to me. I mean, I know some people watching our show who might be new to our show might not realize that, hey, we do cover these stories. And again, these are whistleblowers and insiders, but you literally, as you point out, this is literally in a handbook about how this all works. And maybe you can talk about how this technology is actually working. And have you ever met anyone specifically that's had they were inside of a med bed that had perhaps a cancer removed or something else?
Yes, well, actually, there is one whistleblower I've been working with very closely who still uses the acronym JP, and he was stationed at Eglin Air Force Base, and he was actually taken into one of these medbed facilities in 2024, and he was shown. He actually went into the medbed facility because he was suffering from a medical issue that he was later discharged for. But he said he described seeing approximately 6 to 10 of these medbeds, and that inside of these medbeds were these covert operatives that were being treated for various illnesses. He said in his case that the medbed was only used to kind of 1/3 of its power, and that really he was just being introduced to it rather than having having a full treatment.
Where do you know where these med beds are located? Like, is it common knowledge within the secret space program, people, Space Force, others, that they have access to these med beds?
Well, we know that there are some located at Eglin Air Force Base, which is a major facility, Air Force facility for launching secret space programs. There are also medical laboratories, the Scripps Institute in San Diego, for example. They also have allegedly some of these medbed facilities there, according to another whistleblower that I worked with for a while, William Tompkins, that he said that he was going there and he knew about the med beds, that he was involved in helping build back in the 1970s with a aerospace company called TRW, and that the TRW, they were involved along with the Scripps Institute and other pioneering aerospace companies in developing the first med beds.
It's remarkable. And of course, we don't have access to it. So I've had friends who've lost their mother recently with stage 4 terminal cancer. And these med beds can essentially cure that cancer. And we're not being allowed to have access to it. The same with etheric energy or all these other technologies that we're not allowed to have access to.
Well, that's right. Yes, and it's much more than just the med beds, because the med beds can replace limbs, but there's also technologies that you mentioned actually, where they can actually, with something like a wand or a pencil, induce specific frequencies in organs that are diseased, or if you have cancer or any kind of problem in the body, that if you induce certain currents, frequencies there, that can stimulate the healing. So this is the work of Dr. Becker and others supporting him, but that has been ruthlessly suppressed, going all the way back to the 1960s. So, this is something that has incredible potential to heal people, but the pharmaceutical industry has a lot of power and has suppressed this. And I think Donald Trump's retweeting of that AI-generated post was really kind of like a shot across the bow, saying to the pharmaceutical industry, we're going to release this, and it's coming soon, and you can't stop it. And I think this is all part of Trump's war against the deep state, and this the pharmaceutical industry is one of the major pillars behind the deep state and why it's been able to last for so long and has been able to kind of suppress so much.
He does that. He posts that, and then like 2 days later invites Albert Bourla, head of Pfizer, to come to the Oval Office, like the Death Eater demon himself. And then, hands him a huge bucket of money for additional mRNA rollout technology. So, like, I don't know, like he posts that saying, "Hey, we're coming for you," and then the next couple of days he kind of flip flops and brings Albert Bourla to the White House. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, that might be one of these cases of the left hand not knowing what the right hand is doing. It does seem very, very strange. It may be that the Pfizer people, maybe they want to have a hand in the rollout of these kinds of technologies. I'm not sure of what kind of thinking is behind having the head of Pfizer come in and handing out money. It may have something to do with the rollout of these med beds. But what I've been told from different sources is that these med beds have been mass produced and they're ready for release. And so it may well be that Pfizer is one of the corporations that's kind of like jumping ship and saying, okay, we're going to go away, we're going to abandon the pharmaceutical model and let us be one of the companies rolling out these med beds and we'll support you.
Well, I hope it's true. I mean, but it is crazy. Again, this is not... Trump posted it on Truth Social and then deleted it. So, you can say what you want about it, but it's certainly eye-opening. And then to have confirmation from you and the sources that I've spoken to over the years, there's something going on here. Dr. Michael Salla, always appreciate you joining us and bringing us these stories. It's really fascinating. Thank you so much, Doc. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me on the show.